So this question's using two different functions that embed into each other. So the first one is looking at the amount of bacteria in the food. And this first formula or first function is looking at the amount of bacteria in food for the temperature that the food is currently at. So T is the temperature of the food. And to find the temperature of the food, we can use this second function, which is telling us for how long it's been taken out of the fridge, what the temperature of the food will then be. So when we're explaining the domain of each function, for the first one here, we're saying that it's between 2 and 14. So that suggests that the temperature of the refrigerated food is always between 2 and 14. So the temperature in a fridge is between 2 and 14. And that's then where the domain is. And then for the second one, the time is between 0 and 3, and we're talking about hours. So it's saying that the food can be left out of a fridge or out of the refrigerator for between 0 and 3 hours. So food can be taken out between 0 and 3 hours, or up to 3 hours, essentially. So then we're finding the composition. So composition is just the composite function. It's when we're bedding them into each other, of n t of t. So that means that the t of t is going inside the n function. So we have 20, and then instead of the t value here, we're going to have this whole function. So 20 4t plus 2 squared minus 8t, and then instead of my t, I'm going to put that whole function into the t. So 8t 4t plus 2, and then at the end I have my plus 500. So I can leave it like that if I want to, so long as I label it. So this is nt of t. So I can leave it like that. I don't have to expand it, or we can expand it out if we want to. If we're expanding it out, we just need to remember that this first bracket here should be multiplied by itself. So we have 4t plus 2 times 4t plus 2. So we need to remember to do both of those parts. So that's going to give me 16t squared plus 8t plus 8t, and then plus 4. So I just need to remember those two different parts there. So, and then I times all of that by 20, and then I've got 80 times all of this, and so on. And it simplifies down if you want to, and there's no need to do this at all, but it would simplify down to be 320t squared plus 420. But there is no need to do that. You can actually leave it in that first process. And then we're finding to interpret the context of the question. Okay, we're asked to interpret the context. This is telling us the amount of bacteria for how long it's been left out of the fridge. So this time it's for how long rather than the temperature. So it's doing the temperature to then work out the bacteria. So it's the number of bacteria for how long food has been left out. Taken out of the fridge. And then we're finding the number of bacteria when the food has been out of the refrigerator for 1.5 hours. So we can actually use this function here that we've just found, or this function here, and we're just substituting in 1.5. You could also use the original. you could put 1.5 into here and find the temperature. And then once you've got that answer, you can put that into your temperature and you can find your number of bacteria. So you can actually do it either method there. So if you weren't confident with your answer from B, you could just go back to using your original formula. So we're going to look at that both methods. So 20 and then 4. So I'm just taking this original formula here and substituting in my 1.5. So for 1.5 plus 2 squared minus 80 for 1.5 plus 2 plus 500. And you just type all of that into your calculator. Or you could use the simplified version that you found here. So 320, 1.5 squared plus 420. Or you could use the original, and the original would be taking the temperature function. So for 1.5 plus 2. And then when you've got that answer, you're then putting that into the numerical, and then once you've found that, you're then putting that into your function for the number of bacteria. And either method there, it doesn't matter which one you pick, you will get 1,140 as your final answer. So you can substitute that in 3 different ways and you can pick which one you would have preferred to use.